Srimati Anupriya patel.
Honorable Chairperson, thank you for allowing me the opportunity. The issue of price hike which is being discussed in the House today is much debated in every nook and corner of the nation these days. It is a very serious concern, no doubt. Nevertheless, we must not forget that the present government took over barely 1.5 months back, and it cannot change the legacy it has inherited in a very short spell of time. We cannot expect the government to create any magic in a period of barely 1 or 2 months. And we ought to give time to the government to make structural changes which have been responsible for giving rise to this price hike. Food inflation is the prime concern today for the entire nation, as it is the worst hit for the common man. And the union government has already issued directives to the state governments to discourage hoarding, and has also moved to declare hoarding as a non-bailable offense. However, if you look at the performance of the state governments, the past experience clearly indicates that the performance of the state governments, as far as checking of hoarding is concerned, has been very dismal. And the prime reason for which being the amount of stocks which can be kept is not clear. I urge the union government to confirm the storage ceiling so that the identification of the hoarders becomes an easy task. Even in the UPA regime, a series of orders were passed restricting the hoarding, the rule on how much stock could be kept. And because the political will was lacking, the officials, the bureaucracy was also hesitant to act in this light. If we look at the conviction rate also, between 2008 and 2013, it has just been 10%, which is really not sufficient to deter the hoarders. Apart from de-hoarding, I also expect the government to make efforts for banning forward and futures trading in respect of the 14 essential commodities, which contributes majorly to food inflation. Honorable Sir, I would also like to draw the attention of the House towards the problems faced by the agriculturists and the farmers in the country. More than 60% of the agricultural production, particularly the fruits and vegetables, gets wasted every year on account of absence of adequate storage facilities. In other countries, when the prices rise, the farmers benefit. But it's unfortunate that in India, this is not the case. When prices rise, the farmers do not benefit. And moreover, because the minimum support prices are very low, so the farmers are in a very terrible state. So we expect that the government adopts certain fundamental reforms so that the storage facilities are developed, and also our farmers do not give up farming and their subsequent generations are willing to continue with farming and the agricultural profession of the family. There's also been much uproar about the hike in the rail fare. However, I wish to draw the attention of the House towards the fact that in February 2014, the loss to the Indian Railways was rupees 30,000 crore. So the increase in the railway fare had to be effected in the first week of May, even before the election results had come. And the present government has only implemented the leftover decisions of the past government. And this unpopular decision had to be taken in the national interest. I only wish the government communicates the rationale and reason for taking this unpopular decision to the common man of the nation, and also specifies the time within which these hardships would end.
Thank you.
Many of the speakers have also spoken about the petroleum prices hike, which is being linked with the global market, and this is a practice that was adopted in the UPA regime. And on account of the internal strife in Iraq, the crude oil prices have risen up to rupees $115. So the NDA government has been compelled to raise the petrol and diesel prices in the country, and it was a culmination of the UPA policy of increasing 50 paisa per month. However, since it's a worst hit to the common man, I would urge the government to reconsider its decision of relinking the price of the petroleum products with the global market and follow the advice of the Honorable Minister Shri Ramvilas Paswanji regarding encouraging the usage of ethanol. I would like to end by just suggesting to the government that it adopts all possible fundamental reforms to get the economy back in shape, as it has been voted to power with tremendous hopes, faith, and aspirations of the general people of India. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Kausalendra Kumar.